There are other people who have claimed to have had contact with people from other planets, people like George Adamski in the 50s, whose name you may know, Billy Meyer in Switzerland. How do you differ from them, if you differ from them?
It's very, very different. The only one messenger in this century is the one you are speaking to now, and all other one saw something in the sky and mixed it with personal belief, and this message is the only one which is 100% atheistic, and this is how to recognize the real one from the wrong one. All other one, they are mixed with belief, religious belief in God or something like that. So it was the same at the time of Jesus. You had maybe 500 false messengers and one true. And it's very good because it's a natural selection to have the right people at the right place.
But they talk about people from the Pleiades star group, Pleiadians, people similar to us in appearance. Do they exist?
In the universe, you have an infinite number of planets with life on these planets. So it's an infinite number. We cannot say 1 or 10 or 1 billion. It's an infinite number. But the Earth is the private garden of the Elohim. They came in here, there was no life. And they did build big laboratories. And inside these laboratories, thanks to the energetic combination, they did create us. So they protect us from everybody in the universe. And nobody except them is coming on the Earth.
So you're saying that no other visitors from other planets come here on the Earth at all?
Nobody.
But there's a piece in one of your books that says a warning, telepathic message, others will try to contact you. That seems to contradict what you're saying.
No, it's possible that one day one civilization from another planet will be coming. It's possible. But it didn't happen until now.
So Billy Meyer, in saying that you had contact with people from the Pleiades, you think that is false?
Yes, all the other messenger is false. When this civilization maybe will come and our brothers from space, another creation of the Elohim, first of all, the Elohim will allow them, let them go through the space to come here, and number two, they will be on the Earth trying to speak with everybody, and it will be not a secret contact. You know, it's like a human being going on the moon. We landed at the moon, we walked, and they will do the same. They will come, they will walk, and the TV will show them, they will speak, they will have contact. If it's possible, it's also possible, never.
How do you explain then the fact that all over the world today, people are coming forward to psychologists and scientists saying that they feel they've been abducted by aliens, taken into spacecraft, interfered with? It's happening in so many different countries, and the same thing is being reported. Top psychologists at Harvard are writing books about this. What is this? Is this the Elohim?
No, never. And I would like to speak about that because it's very important. There is now, how do you say, complot, a kind of conspiration.
Yeah.
A conspiration from... conspiration. Conspiracy.
Let's start again. Yes. So what is happening? Are people being abducted? As many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are reporting the experience of being taken out of their beds at night, taken into a spacecraft, medically examined, interfered with, fetuses taken from their wombs and so on. What is happening?
No, all these things are not true, but I want to speak about that. It's very important. The conspiracy of American militaries and the CIA. You know, as you know, the American power, the United States, doesn't have any more enemy on the earth. There is no more USSR, and they have a lot of military making a lot of money, and now there are big cuts in American army. Many people are losing their jobs. They are closing down many American bases. So all these powerful men are afraid to lose their job. So they tried to create an enemy. They tried with Iraq. It's so small. They tried with many countries, but it's so small. They tried with Syria, with Libya. They don't have enemy who can prove that they are useful. So they try now to make human beings afraid of invaders from space.
How do they do this? How are they making many different people in many different countries feel they're having these experiences?
Exploiting rumors and spreading false information, disinformation, trying to exploit people who are very debalanced, psychically debalanced, and trying to make big advertisement and to keep on the to make growing the fear of space and of people from space, which is terrible, because people from space are always friendly, full of love. They love us. They are our creators. So the most terrible thing is to spread the image of danger from space, abducting human beings. This is absolutely untrue.
But our investigation, we've talked to various scientists, they find that the same thing happens over and over again with people from different parts of the world. They come out independently, never having heard of anybody else's experience, to say that these terrifying things have happened to them. It seems to be much more than just reading about it in the newspapers. It seems impossible that something is not happening either in fact or in their minds.
No, it's not true. It's just imagination. And, it's like an epidemic. One people is speaking, so another one is speaking of the same thing, and as you know, a lot of people are using drugs and alcohol and are psychologically debalanced, and most of them are debalanced by religions, mystical delirium. So it's these kind of people. There is no one abduction on the earth, and there never been, and there will never be.
We have interviews with children in South Africa. And this is not an abduction story, but they reported coming out of their school and seeing in the playground a spacecraft had landed in the woods, and small people with long hair, which sounded a bit like the Elohim, had come and were looking at them, and they felt they were telepathizing. Would this be the Elohim? Would you say this is the Elohim landing and appearing to children? Would they do that?
Of course, yes. You know, in this case, when people are friendly, respectful, it's happened everywhere in the world. 50 million of people saw that, so these kind of things on the earth right now, and throughout the history of mankind, you had a lot like that. So this is truth. What is not truth is violent people from space making abduction and violent things. This is not true, but testimony of people watching Elohim, a lot. You have a lot in the earth.
Why are they doing it? If the Elohim did come down outside that school in South Africa, they didn't seem to communicate in any way. Why would they do that?
Just to make people speak about that, and speak more often than people describe it, because it is true. This is more important. So there is the power of America and the United States trying to make people afraid, to have more military and more power, and the power of peace and love. And so the Elohim are appearing everywhere in the world to make the power of love stronger than the abduction images.
But some of these people who talk about abductions, they do disappear from their homes, their beds, their families don't see them, and then they sometimes turn up dirty, in a disheveled state, when they have disappeared, as it were, in front of people's eyes. How can you explain that?
When you use drugs or alcohol and you fall in the ground, sometimes you are dirty and you can have some scratch on your body because of the trees. But, this is not true. This is just not true. There is only love in space.
You have been working for 20 years at making this understanding. A lot of people do say, oh, the Raelian movement, Rael, he's just trying to make money out of his books. He's just trying to seek attention. You've been doing years. Have you felt that you are changing those people for scoffing? Are you making any progress, do you feel?
Oh, yes, it's working exactly like we planned it to work, and I never try to change other people or to convince. I'm just trying to reach the right people at the right place and to create a network of people to work to prepare the embassy to welcome the Elohim. And now we have a wonderful network in 84 countries, 35,000 people around the world, and it's exactly what we want to do, and not trying to convince anybody. And so those who don't, nobody can have everybody agree with him. It was not possible for Jesus, for Buddha, for Muhammad. It will not be possible for me also. And even when the Elohim will come, not everybody will believe they are our creators. You can never convince 100% of people. But only with 4 or 5%, I'm very happy.
Seems to be generally an increase in the world in consciousness about UFOs and ufology. There's a greater attention being paid to it. The Roswell incident, for example, recently, films of aliens being given autopsies. What do you think those aliens shown in that film were? Were they Elohim?
No, but this is a fake. This is not true. This movie is just made to make money. The positive thing is make people speak more and more about extraterrestrial life, but it's just Hollywood. It's not true.
You say in your book at one point that the Elohim said that they were making you their messenger, their ambassador, that they would listen through your ears, they would speak through your mouth, and that they would see through your eyes. Are they doing that at this very moment?
Yes, when it's necessary, yes.
Are they listening to this interview?
Yes.
Are you quite sure about that?
Yes.
Another thing they said, you say in your book, they said that they give you the power to heal at some times. Have you ever healed anybody?
Sometimes. Many times.
Yes?
Most of the time it's psychological healing. And curing the sickness, the mental sickness created by Christian church, usually Catholic church most of the time.
So you haven't brought anybody back from the dead like Lazarus? Or...
No, this is not my mission. My mission is to cure the psychological sickness created by the guiltiness which the Catholic church is making usually on the earth.